Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Arrow Season 7. So in the Season 7 premiere of Arrow, we had some pretty big moments, most of them being in prison with Oliver, but we also saw that Green Arrow imposter making himself known within, or making him or herself known within Star City. But easily the biggest, what the hell is going on, am I seeing things correctly in my TV moment, was definitely the end scene where we had the conclusion to a set of sort of confusing cutaway scenes involving someone heading to Leanne New, going to Robert Queen's grave, and then running into Roy Harper of all people. And this reveal was that we were in the future, yes, a flash forward, and we were seeing a much older version of Roy Harper approached by an older version of William Clayton, aka Oliver Queen's son, complete with the hosen that we saw given to him by Felicity earlier on in the episode. Now, there has been some confusion in regards to whether Oliver is alive or not in this, this time period, as William does say that Roy knew his father, sort of making out as if his father is dead, but then he says Oliver Queen is my father, making out that Oliver is alive. So this could be an error in writing, or maybe they're going back and forth to sort of keep it a mystery as to what Oliver's fate is, or maybe Oliver disowns Roy, so Oliver's I don't know Roy, so technically it becomes you knew my father, you know what I mean? But yeah, there's a bit of confusion there from some people. But the new showrunner for this season of Arrow, that being Beth Schwartz, did an interview with Collider following the season premiere, and as you would expect, there were many questions being asked about not only the end scene, but the entire premiere. But for the sake of keeping things contained to the flash forwards and the characters of Roy and William, we will just focus on questions around those three things. So we are simply just going to read out the questions that were asked, read out the answers given, and then go over them in more detail if needed. Is this future storyline going to parallel the season like the flashbacks used to? Yeah, ever since the flashbacks went away and we didn't know how long the show was going to go on for, we always knew, after season 5, that there wouldn't be flashbacks. So we had talked about doing flash forwards years ago, so we're going to keep it all season. Now for me, I think this is actually a good idea. I actually talked to one of my friends and he actually doesn't like the idea of flashbacks, flash forwards might I say. Personally for me, I like it just because, it doesn't have to connect to stuff in modern day. It can, but it doesn't have to lead up to that point in modern day. They just make stuff up as they're going, but in the flashbacks, they couldn't just kill off a character that's, in present day, if you know what I mean. But in the future, flash forwards, they can kill a character that maybe we're close to. Maybe older Diggle could appear and they kill him off if they want to. They could do that. So I think the flash forwards have more potential, while the flashbacks were always sort of, contained and sort of restricted as to what they could do. In general terms, what can you say about the flash forward storyline and the story that you're telling there? I can't say much, but I think you guys will love it. I hope. Now, for me, I think I will love it. Just the fact that it's older Roy, I think I'm really looking forward to. I was not expecting that at all. I don't think a lot of us were, if anyone was expecting it. I saw some smartasses go, "Oh, Paige, I picked it." And I was like, yeah, sure you did, mate. Sure you did. But anyway, the flash forward storyline, I think a lot of people are thinking that it's going to be essentially William being taught by Roy. I don't think it's going to be that simple. It might be something like that, but it might be a mystery. It could be a mystery about Oliver Queen or something like that that could connect to basically what's happening in the present day storyline. That'd be really cool. I did mention in my review from the other day that it would be pretty cool if the flash forwards and the present day sort of met up in regards to a mystery. So maybe Roy and William were going through a mystery that tracked them back through time, and we're catching up to that time in the present season, if that makes sense. So that'd be pretty cool. I think doing a flash forward storyline and trying to connect it to present day is much, much harder than doing a flashback storyline trying to connect it to present day. But go for it, and I'm hoping it's good, and I'm pretty excited. What can you say about who William is as an adult, personality-wise? He's very smart. He's very smart still. So obviously, William as a kid is very smart. They make that clear essentially every single time we meet him. Obviously, he must be rich if he was organizing all that boat stuff. I don't necessarily remember if he says he was rich. He might have, but we have to think he's rich if he's doing all that, getting the private boat charter and stuff out to the Leanne New. But this doesn't surprise me. I guess the big question is whether he does his own thing, he's his own businessman or his own smart man job with high-paying wages and stuff like that, or if maybe he's a part of Queen Industries or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. But I'm sure we'll find out about that eventually, in the flash forwards at some point. How many years in the future are we seeing? It's 20 years. I think it's 2040. So obviously we're in 2018 at the moment. So if it's 2040, Or maybe, I guess if they're saying it's 20 years, then I'm guessing it's like 2038 to 2040, somewhere around that period. So that, yeah, that makes sense. Like, what William's about like 13 or 14 at the moment, I think he is. So they'd make him like early 30s in these flash forwards, and I think the actor looks about that range. And what Colton Haynes would be like, you know, bordering 50. I guess the Roy Harper character would probably be bordering around, actually like mid 40s, maybe 50s, probably mid 40s. So maybe he's looking a bit older than he should. But maybe he's a silver fox. Maybe Roy Harper, when he gets to that age, is a nice silver fox and gets some grey hairs early. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Are we going to see Colton Haynes in the present day storylines or just the future? You'll have to keep watching. So I do like how Beth Schwartz is being very, very vague with their answers and just basically not giving away any spoilers. Basically, this season of Arrow, they've been trying to keep spoilers on the down low, and they did a really good job. The fact that we did not know that Roy was going to be older, let alone there was going to be an older version of William as well, and let alone we're getting flash forward storylines. So they've done a good job in regards to keeping that a secret. But someone did tell me that on an Australian ad for the shows, there was a shot of Roy Harper running through a tunnel that they couldn't pinpoint to a previous episode in the series run. Now, obviously, I'm not going to blame them if that is just a previous shot from a previous season, because it is hard to pinpoint God knows how many episodes of Arrow that Roy was in. But he did say that, or they did say that there was a trailer which showed only new footage of Arrow for this season, and then it showed Roy running through a tunnel. So I don't know if that hints that he's in present day. But I think if they're going to do Roy in present day, he won't appear till like later on. Maybe until they're trying to, you know, make some sort of connections between the flash forwards and the present day. So I wouldn't expect him till the back half, to be completely honest, if we were going to see Roy, but we'll have to wait and see. With these flash forwards, are we going to find out what happened to Thea? It's possible, I don't know. Now, I think in present day, if Roy were to appear, they probably would have to do some sort of explaining about Thea. In the flash forwards though, I don't know if they would have to. I don't think it would be necessary, but if he did appear in present day, then I think Roy would have to explain it. But with the flash forwards, I don't know if it'd be a necessity unless like the conversation literally just directs straight towards something revolving around Thea. I don't think it'd be necessary to bring up Thea, or they could just say it in passing, like, oh, I don't talk about Thea anymore. So maybe something bad happened to her if they want to allude to that. But I don't think they'd have to go in too much detail about something happening to Thea or something happening between Roy and Thea that would cause them to split and Roy go elsewhere. I don't think it's, you know, a major necessity. Are we going to get to see all the other characters aged up, or are they going to be played by different actors? You're going to see some of our characters, yes. Now, this excites the hell out of me. Now, I did refer to like an older Diggle just coming in and getting killed. I don't necessarily want that, but seeing some older versions of characters does get me very, very excited. So they have cast Catherine McNamara, I think that's her name, to play a character called Maya, who's like a cage, or like a street fighter, or like a cage fighter or something like that. She could be like an older version of a character we might meet this season, or she could be like the daughter of like maybe Oliver and Felicity, or it could be like the daughter of maybe like a Laurel or something like that if Laurel gets a relationship, or it could be just, you know, the daughter or the child of someone else that we know on the show. But in regards to older characters, I would expect probably Felicity, definitely, in some way, shape or form. I'd say Diggle, maybe Laurel, maybe Earth 2 Laurel, but I'd say Felicity for sure, and maybe Diggle would be the two that would, I'd say 100% see older versions of. And then I guess you couldn't rule out Oliver. I guess the older version of Oliver is always going to have a big question mark on whether he's alive or dead. And I think that's going to be a mystery going forward in these flash forward storylines for a while, whether he's alive or dead. And they might refer to him, but they won't confirm whether he is, you know, alive or dead. So, you know, we've already seen an older version of Oliver Queen on Legends, but they might do something a bit different with him in these flash forwards if they're going to show him. Flash forwards are a great tool used on a lot of shows in the past, most notably Lost. Are you taking inspiration from any previous incarnations of flash forwards on other shows? Definitely, I love all shows that do that, like Westworld and even This Is Us, which I'm a big fan of, but I feel that we have our own unique way of doing our flash forward story. I love that kind of storytelling where you are putting the pieces together. That's what I love about the premiere. All the pieces are there, and at the end you're like, what the fuck? Oh, God, Beth Schwartz, watch your mouth. Hopefully there will be a lot of those kinds of moments this season. So yeah, with flash forwards, like, it's not an original concept, so it is, you know, smart to take, you know, the inspiration from other shows. Like even like Lost, you could say, was an inspiration for some of Arrow's flashbacks as well, and other shows like that. So yeah, nothing really to dive too deep into this. But yeah, I'm liking how she's saying that there's going to be all these different pieces and then they'll eventually come together, and that's what you'd hope for. Is this a fixed future that we're seeing, or is there the possibility that they can change things? This is not connected to Legends. This is our own future. They don't know what happens in the future. Legends is like that, and the Flash is like that, but on Arrow, they don't know. This is very much for the audience. They don't know what's happening to them in the future. It's better that they don't know. And I 110.765% agree with this. You have to keep the future fixed. It can't be variable. There can't be a variable future like we have on Legends and on the Flash. The future that we see on Arrow has to be fixed. It can't be variable. So I like what Beth is saying here. And that just sort of calms me down, because that was one of my concerns about this, is that there could be like time travel, and time travel will come up in a second. But there could be time travel which automatically makes the future variable, which I don't really want to see. So the fact that she says there's a fixed future definitely calms me down and should get us all excited, because it's going to be much cleaner storytelling because of that. Is there a concerted effort to stay away from sci-fi elements this year? Yeah, we're sticking to the more grounded storytelling, and that's basically what I was saying about time travel. You know, time travel is sci-fi, so the fact that they're saying it's grounded means that we won't see William time traveling from the future to become this goddamn Green Arrow imposter. So if you have that theory, please chuck it in the bin. If it's on your computer, recycle bin, empty trash, please. Just get it out of your head. If it's on a Word document and you can't delete it, if it's an old computer, just smash it. If it's a new computer, maybe just, I don't know, Control or Delete, something like that. But overall, even though I am really looking forward to seeing more and more of this prison storyline with Oliver, because I think there's going to be some, interesting things going on in there, I really cannot wait to see what we get to see with these flash forwards and the storyline that it will involve. Especially because we are dealing with versions of existing characters we have never seen before. I really can't wait to see who else shows up, like those future versions, with like what other older characters will make appearances. Like, as I said, I think Felicity and Diggle are certainties, but who knows who else could show up. That'd be pretty damn interesting, so I really cannot wait. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on what we went over in this video. Are you looking forward to this flash forward storyline? Do you have any theories around it that you'd like to, leave? Just leave them in the comments. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.